So everybody should be happy. And we are going to have a great day. It's a busy day. So people in the gallery, let me just tell you, some of you are not on the docket. You're here to support people. One, this is not a love fest, so do not be hugged up in the courtroom. Number two, the deputy is going to tell you, do not talk to any of the inmates that are going to be out in the box. If you want to visit them, you'll have to visit them at the jail. This is not visitation. When you start talking to them in the box, what ends up happening is that put the deputies even on higher alert because they are in charge of security. The other thing, Bashan, George is going fishing. I've already told him, be careful out there. He's saying the water is shallow. He's going to be just fine. So, because Robert and Renee, we all know when anything happens with an attorney, I don't care if you just got your license. What does the news say? Prominent attorney. So let's not be prominent attorneys or prominent judge. But he told me he's going to be careful. So it'll be fun. Yeah. What are you fishing for? What are you hoping to catch?
Sorts of things, redfish, trout,
Do you clean them?
Again,
I said, are you going to clean them if you catch it?
if I have to, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Before you go fishing, you need to watch The Incredible Mr. Limpet.
Yeah.
It could be Don Knotts. We don't know. If he's talking, do you keep him or do you put him back or do you keep him and try to sell him?
Well, no, I mean, we keep very few. We return most of them.
All right. So if you pull the fish in and it starts speaking to you like in the Incredible Mr. Limpet, are you going to put it back?
I'm
Or?
going to keep that one.
It reminds me, Deputy Laura, of the cartoon. You remember the frog that talked and danced?
Michigan frog?
Yeah. And then when he would be on Spotlight, he wouldn't say anything. All right, attorneys, here's a quick tutorial. If you all will follow through on this, things will run smoothly. For the first time ever, I gave instructions to a jury panel and they followed these instructions. So attorneys, do I have faith that you'll follow these instructions? Not really. They're not, but I'm going to try. So we have a lot of inmates today. So you need to request your inmate from the deputy. You are not ready to approach unless you have the deputy bring your inmate out. Once they brought your inmate out and you requested your inmate, do not leave the courtroom because they can only have so many inmates in the box for security reasons. If your client wants to speak to me in a language other than English, you're not ready to approach until you've let the coordinator or clerk know that you need an interpreter. And guess what? When everything is ready, they're going to put your file up here. I'm going to call you in order of appearance. That's the way to go. So don't say, hey, can you let me skip over other attorneys because I need to be out of here? You need to speak to the other attorneys about that and see if they give you permission to do that. Otherwise, the answer is going to be no. So please do not stare me down because you think you're ready. I'm calling people the order of appearance. That's the way it works. The court reporter is here. Attorneys, you've always failed at this. Please do not fail at this. When we are on the record, that means that I've called the style of the case. If you're in the box, don't talk behind the court reporter because it makes it difficult for her to hear. It's difficult for me to hear. When I call the case, do not stand up here because again, it makes it difficult for me to hear. And if we follow these rules, this will truly be a great Friday Eve. So everyone, please confer. State, Jacob Leal is going to be recalled for January 9th. I received notice that he's in the hospital with no release date. And if the attorney appears, just make sure that he has all the discovery. Hello.
Did Danny do the bench trial yesterday?
Oh, no. So what ended up happening, we started on a jury trial. We selected a jury and then the state's witnesses didn't show.
Oh,
The officers. So
there you go.
the defendant was very happy. No, but they're not gonna refile it.
Judge, may I announce briefly?
Sure.
With regard to my client, he's not here as of yet, Judge, but I have another court to run to.
Sure.
If I may return and see if he may be surfaced, and if not,
Yes.
maybe announce them.
Yes,
Thank you, Judge.
you're welcome. Deputy Laura, the medicine ball is good today. Yes. All right. Mario Vargas. Miss, you'll need to have a seat. Mario Vargas. All right, if you'll come forward. All right, and I think this had to do with restitution.
It did, Your Honor.
All right, who's the prosecutor on this?
Anyone from trial division, I suppose, looks like Jason's the only one here this morning.
Okay,
There is one here.
well, let me interrupt then. Jason,
No idea.
sorry to,
Spelling me anything.
sorry to interrupt.
Yes.
All right, this is restitution. And I don't know if you all have received this.
Yeah, this is the first I've looked at
Do
it.
you mind if we step away and I
Sure.
kind of get him up to speed a little bit?
Okay. Hey, how's it going?
Just want to come and say good morning to you. How are you?
Great. Your son always come down. Just tell you, you did such a great job with him.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
In fact, he's got a case in, set for trial in your court this morning.
Yeah.
So I was telling my friends, I said, you've heard of, parents taking the children to day work.
Yeah.
This is child taking his parent to day work.
Oh, that is so awesome. But he's great. And I know he's going to be fabulous.
Thank you. I appreciate it. He's still afraid of me, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, that is. But he is so respectful. I just admire him. You did a fantastic job.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. I always say that he's my greatest accomplishment.
Oh, yeah, he's fabulous. I tell you what, the deputies and everybody love him because he just comes in. He's like, excuse me, could I have this? He's not any of those.
Yeah,
he
not
doesn't
in your
do that
face.
thing. Yeah.
I always said, being kind is the cheapest gift you can give to yourself and to others,
Oh, yeah.
and it comes back to you. Is it your birthday?
Yeah, it's my birth month. I celebrate the entire month.
I celebrate the year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every day's
You
my
see,
day.
yeah.
Every day's my day.
But yeah, he is so fabulous.
Well, thank you and happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
Well,
We
I'm-
always enjoy seeing him come in. I'm like, it's gonna be a great day.
Well, he's gonna try a case, so I said, I'll sit with you.
Okay.
So I'm gonna kind of like.
Okay. Well, I will tell you, we normally don't select juries on Thursday.
That's what I figured. I think it was gonna be a trial announcement.
Yes.
And I told him, he goes, Mom, I've never, I go, you always have to find out. I go, you ask the court, when is the trial setting
Yeah.
itself? I go, then you ask about voir dire. How does she like to conduct voir dire?
Oh, yeah.
How do you like to conduct closing?
The mom and son here.
We're tag teaming, but I go, these are the things you need to know. And
Yeah.
if the judge is busy, then just ask the bailiff, because they'll know.
Oh, yeah, they will.
They'll know. So anyways, I'll let you get back to work.
All
today.
right, awesome.
It's
Good seeing you. Hello, yes.
Judge, I was unaware.
Okay.
Of the restitution hearing, and I know that puts Job in a bind, but, the victim I have not spoken to.
Okay.
I know probation has, and they received letters that say certain things that,
Or is he saying it's more than this?
yes, and there's a discrepancy possibly with the amount that he was received from the insurance company.
Okay.
I mean, so I would ask for just a small reset so that we can, again, I would have done this my third year.
No,
so
no
I
problem.
apologize.
Can you have your client come up?
And Judge, I mean, it's a situation that I would mind if there's client.
Mhm.
No objections. It's certainly the state's fault that.
All right. All right, so Mr. Vargas, what we're gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to reset your case because I don't want something to happen where I say that restitution is satisfied and it's not, or if something happens with the civil side, because I'm saying it's satisfied and it's not. So the state just needs to check into a couple more things. If you all agree that the restitution is satisfied, we won't need a hearing. You all just let me know the restitution hearing is satisfied. If you have to work or something of that nature, you can zoom in. You won't have to appear. All right. So I thank you so much for coming down. And thank you. You always dress appropriately for court. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. So here's the question though. When do y'all want to come back?
Depends on his work schedule, Judge.
All
I
right.
can make it happen.
All right. So what's your work schedule?
I work Monday through Friday from 7 to 4. So
All
I
right.
mean, I would have to take a day off.
No. Do you have a lunch break?
Yeah. it's at-
Legally, they have to give,
Yeah,
first
it's at-
time I got a job, my mom said, this is when your lunch breaks are supposed to be. This is
Yeah.
how many minutes you get.
My lunch breaks are from noon to 12:45.
Make that work. y'all, we'll just have to be here.
Not a problem.
We'll do it at noon. And again, we may not even need you. If they agree that the restitution is satisfied, you won't have to appear by Zoom and your attorney can just call you.
Okay.
So how much time do y'all want?
Sometime next week, I think we'll be fine. So, is that okay with you, Jason?
Let me see. All right, y'all want to do it the 21st?
21st?
Yes.
Yes, that's it.
All right, so what we'll do is we'll put you down for November 21st for restitution hearing. And Jason, do you need a copy of this?
I'm sorry.
Do you need a copy?
I was gonna ask Jeb for copies. I don't know if he has copies, but if not, I'll get copies from the.
Make copies.
All right, if y'all need to make one in the back or something, you can.
Okay, Judge, thank you. Jeb, do you mind?
Thank you, Justin.
Making copies? Yeah,
All right, can I have a reset form, please? And
Thank you,
Mr. Vargas, I'm going to give you a reset form, but no, you can appear by Zoom.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Oh, and Todd, I'm just reviewing I see there's some letters included, so I'm reviewing those. All right, thank you.
And if you want to call his name out, have him stand up just.
Oh, I trust you.
Okay,
Yeah.
and he's here.
All right, thank you.
And we've conferred. I don't know what we do at this point.
Oh, you just have them pull the file. And then I'll call you in order of appearance.
Okay, yeah, Marlon Daniels.
Marlon Daniels.
You're good.
All right, come forward. Hello, Mr. Daniels. All right, make sure you're on time next time, okay?
I tried to get here, man, but got caught up in traffic.
All right, we have to, you have to
I don't know.
time it. Thank you for dressing appropriately. Where are we on discovery?
Judge, I got the indictment last week or so.
Last week,
Yeah, and
because we were
Then-
here on September.
that's when we got it.
Okay.
So I talked to counsel. We're gonna file a motion for the blood draw laboratory stuff. It has not been filed yet. And then I talked to counsel and he was gonna, if I give him a hard drive, he's gonna put everything on it for me.
Okay. All right, so when do you anticipate giving them the hard drive and following the motion?
I can get it over there the first of next week.
All right, and also I'll need the blood discovery file the first of next week as
I'll
well.
get that right away and so that should be on the way. Now there is a possibility, well, there's a realistic issue regarding the blood the blood tubes.
Mhm.
I have a toxicologist that I want to retest the blood.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna have to file a motion to that effect.
All right, needs to be filed next week.
Okay, I'll do that next week. And I don't know how long that is gonna take, but we're gonna do that.
All right, Norma, on this case, have them come back on January 9th for discovery. And I'm notating all of those motions. They need to be filed next week
I will
All right.
definitely do that. I
before
mean,
you go on your fishing trip.
well, that's every weekend, so
Yes.
he's the bondsman. What's that?
You appointed?
No, he was retained as a bondsman.
No, but you yourself, were you hired or were you?
I'm retained, yeah.
Can you file your notice? Was your notice filed? This is stuff?
Pretty sure we filed it, but
Okay, because it's not showing up. It shows up as Carlos Martinez. So they do have notice of retained counsels in back. And so if you could just fill that out so they can put it in the
all right,
system
he
today.
was the first one to file because he was the bail bond.
Okay,
Yeah, but he's not involved in the case itself.
All right,
But I'll
so-
get that done today.
all right. Is there anything else?
That's all we have.
Norma, recall this for January 9th, please.
All right, is he excused now?
Once he signs the reset form.
Oh, I see. Okay, very good.
Did you get the file?
But Sean, you're ready on Samantha Saldana?
Yes.
What is this? I know you are.
The attorney wanted to approach that.
Oh, on Samantha Saldana?
Yes.
Okay,
That's what we don't. So I don't know.
all right, so we'll wait.
She's
Oh.
here, but.
All right. Jason, are you ready on Kylan Gutierrez? It's a sentencing?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Mr. Gutierrez, if you'll come down. All right, court is calling 2024 CR 009938, State of Texas versus Kylan Michael Gutierrez. Can I have parties announced for the record?
Good morning, Your Honor. Todd McCray on behalf of Mr. Gutierrez.
And are you Mr. Gutierrez?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning.
Good morning. All right, you entered a plea of no contest on October 29th. The PSI was waived. The state waived the repeater paragraph without objection. The court found there was sufficient evidence to find you guilty. According to your plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 10 years in the prison. There's a $2,000 fine, and the state is opposed to your application for community supervision or deferred adjudication. I believe both parties agreed to the waiving of the PSI. Is that correct?
Yes, Judge.
All right. All right, state the court was in receipt of a letter from Mr. Gutierrez. It was filed as a part of the PSI that they wanted me to consider, at least it's labeled PSI at the top. State, did you have any objections to the court previously reading that? And have you had a chance to read it? All right, I'll tender it to you to review. And the state did receive a copy of the TAP evaluation, is that correct? So have both parties had a chance to review the TAP evaluation?
Yes, Judge.
Any objections to the TAP evaluation? All right, and the court has reviewed the TAP evaluation. I know that when this was reset, I asked that I be given his criminal history. There's a criminal history that is attached within the TAP evaluation. It shows the disposition that some of the cases were dismissed. Is there any other cases other than what's in the TAP evaluation? And of course, what was in the indictment with that repeater paragraph being waived? Okay, all right, let's do that. Oh, no problem. All right, just have a seat and we'll get back. Hello, Michael.
Hey, Judge, how are you?
Hi, all right. How's my little one?
Oh, he's fat and happy.
He's such a cutie.
We started swim lessons, so that's been super fun.
Oh, wow.
He's enjoying.
See, I need to get my niece with swim lessons.
It seems kind of silly at that age because all you do is drag them around in the water, but He enjoys it.
Yeah.
It tires him out and he sleeps on the way home, so
That's.
it's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah. That's a good thing. Deputy Laura, someone in San Antonio won $3 million. I'm not gonna say.
We already know what we need to do, what phone call.
Yeah. Well, let me just tell you, I made phone calls, nobody answered.
Maybe judge. No missed calls on the phone.
That's a very reasonable question. I wasn't ready for it. Hold on a second. 2022, sorry, 2020, my apologies. CR 12349. You know, as long as you solve my problem and it's not too painful for me.
It's just gonna be 2 copies, sir, since we don't have a carbon copy.
Sure. And do I need to go get it from the back?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's no one in question.
All right, well, then it's pretty easy for me not to. So what I'm gonna do is, she needs to sign 2 documents. One is the waiver of appeal. Everything else here is signed. So I would like to turn it into you when they bring her out. I'll just turn these other 2 in. We can move forward.
Did you confer with the state?
I have your order, yes.
Rashawn, what is the issue on Saldana?
Judge, there was a supplemental report sent in requesting the removal of her scram device.
Okay.
And as you know, with those type of removals, the court requires the ADA's input.
Yes.
And the ADA at the time, Mr. Garahan stated after her community service hours were complete and DWI intervention completion, then we can consider removing this scram. The court ordered to continue with the current conditions. This was back in September, Judge.
Okay.
As of today, she did finish with the requirements to satisfy all of her community service hours and has not had any compliance issues, to include no tampers or any kind of positives with her scram.
All right. And I think she's been on some sort of device since 2020?
2018.
2018. All right. All right. Can I have the state, please? And could you have your client come forward?
I'm sorry.
Have your client come forward?
Yes.
All right, Miss Saldana, how you doing? Okay. You're looking a little, what's going on?
I'm not.
Oh, what's happening?
I
Just 1 second. So they're asking that to remove a scram. I will tell you all, I'm inclined to agree to remove a scram. I do have some questions because when people are going through things, sometimes they fall back into other habits. So, knowing that there are issues going on with her, is there any objections to the removal of scram? Or should we get some sponsor or something in place for her?
The issues that are known to me, Your Honor, are she's a single mother, 5 children, no assistance from any of the fathers. She has lost her job some months back, and that resulted in her eviction. She has since moved in with the only family, and I use that term relatively because this is a relative via one of the children, not her blood relative. And it is through the graciousness of that individual that her children have a place to even be.
Okay.
And that's compounded with, she knows that she has these requirements under probation, that her probation is set to terminate in October of next year, and that she is fearful of, she's aware that the court has the ability to extend her. She is fearful of what cascading events may happen.
Well, here's the thing. Let me just tell you, I'm not in your situation, but I try to deal with life. on a day-to-day basis. You can't get too far in the future. You can always set goals and say, hey, in 5 years, this is what I want to be doing. But you can't have all of that rain down you on one time, because otherwise, if you don't take it step by step and day by day, it's just going to become overwhelming. All right. So is there any objections to the removal of the device?
I had, where these ones of some non-compliance.
Okay.
If it's in compliance and it's met the period that the court assessed initially, it would not be addressed.
All right. So probation has informed the court that she's in compliance, community service hours, everything is going well.
Everything's
Alright.
going well. There is still the, the exception of the DWI intervention course. I did review the file one more time, Judge. She did have a TAP completed in September. The TAP came back with no recommendations of any type of treatment. They basically said she was doing pretty good.
All right. So this is what I'll do then. I will allow the removal of scram. I'm a little bit leery of doing it because I see that you have issues going on. This is what I'm going to have you to do. Does she have any other community service that's outstanding?
No, Judge.
All right. What does she have outstanding?
I believe she has the DWI intervention and the monies that are owed.
And the monies? All right, this is what I'm going to do. And that monies is court costs.
Court cost, fine, and supervision fees.
All right, I'm not going to do anything with the supervision fee. You're going to have to pay the supervision fee. But I will probate your fines. But in order for me to do that, I'm going to require that you get a sponsor. All right. So if you get a sponsor, it's improving yourself and you don't have to pay court costs. Okay. So today, when you leave here, I want you to find out from probation or find out from your attorney where you can go to have a sober support meetings. And I will tell you, those meetings are great because it's community and you can talk about any issues you're having and you don't have to worry about people repeating it because it's supposed to be confidential. Of course, if you're going in there and saying you murdered somebody, all bets are probably going to be off, but you will have a lifetime movie named after you. So let's not do that. All right. But any other issues, talk to them and let them know what's going on. Now, other than this, with housing or something, is there some program we can perhaps refer her to with regards to housing?
Judge, I'll speak with Ms. Saldana to see what other issues may be present and give her what she needs.
All right. And I'm not going to probate the fine. I'm going to waive the fine upon your obtaining a sponsor. And the difference between waiving and probating, if I probate it and you don't successfully complete it, I can still make you pay the $1,500 fine. With waiving it, for you to go to get your sober coach and go to meetings, it doesn't come back. All right. Is there anything else you need from the court? All right. Keep up the good work. Okay.
Judge, do you want to have her just do like AA meetings once a week?
Yes.
So that we
She
can make
did.
sure. Yeah.
She did 60 support meetings in 60 days on the last, when we were here last in court in May, and she completed that successfully. She has those resources available and she knows how to get back.
All right, let's do this. Let's do, because I'm concerned, right? And I don't want you to mess up. So let's do once a week and you get yourself a sponsor. Sometimes it takes a while to get a sponsor, okay? Somebody that you feel comfortable with. So we'll do sober support meetings once a week until she gets a sponsor.
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Is there anything else?
Nothing from the defense, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. All right. Just let me write this down and I'll call you up. Yes. All right. How long do they think this is going to take?
You need to confirm.
We haven't confirmed yet, Judge.
Okay. Well, can you let him know they're confirmed?
Yeah.
All right, Todd, you all ready? All right, we're back on the record in 2024 CR 009938, State versus Kylan Michael Gutierrez. Mr. Gutierrez, if you'll come down, and could parties re-announce for the record, State?
Jason Garahan for the state, Your Honor.
Defense?
Good morning, Todd McCray for Mr. Gutierrez.
All right. And defense, any objections to the court reviewing the NCIC TCIC?
No, Your Honor.
All right, court has reviewed the documents. Defense, do you have any witnesses?
Judge, he has three, his mom is here, Miss Gutierrez, his father is here, Mr. Gutierrez, and the girlfriend that's mentioned in the letter is also present. I can proffer what they would say.
All right, any objections to the defense making proffers as opposed to calling the witnesses? All right, and where are the witnesses in the courtroom?
Mr. Gutierrez, would you stand up, please? And Miss Gutierrez? And Miss Salcedo?
All right,
that's it.
thank you. You may be seated. All right, counsel, you may proceed.
Judge, first of all, you could see he's supported here by his family. His father, Mr. Gutierrez, is a retired police officer. He served 30, looking at my notes here, he served 32 years as a police officer in New Orleans. He's married to Mr. Gutierrez's mother. They're very law-abiding people here in the community. They don't condone the substance abuse history that you see that Mr. Gutierrez has. They're very supportive of his application for community supervision in the community. And they would testify that they would like the court to grant his application for community supervision. They believe he understands his responsibilities in the community and to his family, and that he would make a good candidate for community supervision.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Could you speak up? Probation can't hear.
Excuse me. And his present girlfriend, who is the person would testify that the firearm belonged to her. It ended up in a backpack. She did not know, because the relationship had just started, that he was not permitted to have a firearm. It was in a backpack where his clothes were located. He took the backpack because his clothes were there. Didn't realize the firearm was in there, although that's very reckless. And the offense actually includes a reckless component. Mr. Gutierrez has accepted responsibility for his reckless behavior and not checking that backpack and knowing what was in there. So she would confirm what you read in his statement about the fact that the backpack belonged to her. He was stopped carrying the backpack on a bicycle. He was on a sidewalk instead of the roadway when he was stopped by the police. So that was the probable cause to stop. And there was a warrant for his arrest. He's been on parole for a long time, since he was released from a substance abuse conviction back in 2019. He served well in parole and never turned any dirty UAs into parole. There were some technical violations where, while he was in parole, he did serve a term in the state ISF for substance abuse. And while he was incarcerated, Judge, he also was in the therapeutic community there. So the TAP evaluation says that he's not motivated for treatment, but I have talked to him about this, and he would willingly accept any programs or counseling that the court believes is appropriate as a probation condition. He just feels like that he has had counseling, and he presently doesn't have a drug problem, although he will acknowledge the influence that illegal substances have had on his life. He just wants the court to know he hasn't used any controlled substances since his release on parole. He was employed while he was on parole. He's working for Ashley Furniture. The only reason he lost that is because when he went into the ISF program, he obviously couldn't hold that employment. So he's employable. His girlfriend, Miss Salcedo, would tell the court that she is interested in a long-term relationship with him. She will not have any weapons anywhere near him. She knows now that that's prohibited for him to have any kind of firearms or illegal weapons. And she's offered him a place to reside. She'll let him stay with her, and she wants to continue the relationship. He'd like to be a good citizen in the community. He'd like to comply with any conditions whatsoever, any conditions that the court wants to impose. His parole term has already really expired, and he understands that it is up to parole whether to reinstate it or not. But I think parole would take into consideration if the court were to grant a community service application. He is respectfully and humbly asking the court to grant his community service application. And based on my communications with him, I think you have a sincere defendant here begging for your consideration of his application for probation.
All right. Any witnesses?
Other than the proffer of the 3 witnesses, that's all I have, Judge.
All right. All right, State, you are opposed?
Yes, we are.
All right, I'll hear your argument, State.
States, first of all, individuals have previously convicted felonies, including that I have committed by felons. But I believe the CIC so that he did serve prison time. And then he also has a drug case that he also served prison time. And for those reasons, Judge, the state is opposed to vision. And that's 10 years. That's part of it.
All right, defense court will hear your argument.
Judge, I would, if he wanted to address the court, I would call him as a witness.
All right, do you wish to address the court?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? You can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Kylan, microfilm.
All right, do you want to do this question or answer, or is there something you wish to say?
Did you just want to address the court about, in terms of an allocution, about why you believe you would be a good candidate for community supervision?
Yes, ma'am. I have a brief statement. May I be able to pull out a brief to you, please?
Sure. But I will tell you this, the state will have an opportunity to question you if they choose to question you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And state, you have no objection to him reading a statement?
No.
All right, you may proceed.
Honorable Judge Boyer, thank you for considering my application for probation. I wrote this to briefly explain my desires within my heart and my life. My support system is in court today. My father, a Vietnam veteran, a 30 retired officer in New Orleans, a great loving mother, and a beautiful girlfriend who I will be residing with, who will take me to every appointment, community service, and etc. if granted community supervision. My girlfriend, Alana Salceda, and I will be investing in a truck for a moving company for appliances and reassembling and disassembling furniture locally throughout San Antonio. May 26, 2024 was my 5th anniversary of sobriety. From 2020 to 2023, I had a stable job, a car, and a home. Please give me an opportunity to show you and myself that I am a perfect candidate for probation, freedom, instead of falling into another statistic and becoming just a number lost in the penitentiary. And if you feel to not grant me probation, Ms. Boyd, please have mercy on me and give me a number my family and I can handle so I can continue my rehabilitation from imprisonment and addiction, and once again be a productive member of society. Thank you for hearing my part of my testimony. God bless you, Judge Boyd.
All right, thank you. All right, state, any questions?
Did you get to prison in 2016 for unlawful possession of a firearm?
Yes, sir.
And then you also went to prison for a separate drug charge, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And have you, yeah.
I'm not being affiliated.
No further questions.
All right, anything else?
That's all I have, Judge.
All right, state, you're asking for 10 years? All right, Mr. Gutierrez, I want you to know that I listened to everything that you said. I listened to the proffer by your attorney, and it's no doubt in my mind that the witnesses who are here for support for you would have said great things about you. But with that being said, after listening to everything and reviewing the documents that were presented before me, I don't think you'll be a good candidate for probation. So I'm going to find you guilty. The state is asking for 10 years. Defense, what are you requesting?
Judge, he has about 4 months of credit. He's been incarcerated since the arrest. We had asked the court to consider the lower end of the term. You've heard his allocution to the court. He's asking for a sentence that would be something that would permit him to be released sooner rather than later. So we'd ask the court for the lower end of the range, please.
All right, the court is going to sentence you to a $2,000 fine, time and money to run concurrent. Court will give you credit for any time served. The court will recommend the therapeutic community. The court will sentence you to 8 years in the prison. All right, we can go off the record. I understand that you wanted, probation, but I have to balance certain things, look at everything that is presented to me. When you're released, if you have trouble finding a place that can help you, if I'm still here, you can come back to the court and I'll pick up the phone and call some people, okay? All right, good luck to you. Thank you. Cody Salazar.
You're present, ready, Judge. Come on, Cody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How old are you?
I'm 29.
Okay. All right, where are we on discovery?
Yeah, discovery has been filed with defense. However, my advocate spoke with the complainant this morning. It was a very lengthy conversation. There are several notes that I need to review. So I could for a 30-day research. And I did feel our defense about the phone call. There may be some information I need to disclose to defense after I meet this next one.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a 30-day reset. And it's discovery. This will be the final discovery.
Thank you, Judge.
And state on this day, you'll need to tender an offer as well.
Yes.
All right, December 16th.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Deputy Laura, he's excused. Paul Marceau, have you conferred with the state?
We have, Your Honor.
All right, he has a violation report.
Okay, Judge.
Who's the prosecutor on Paul Marceau? All right, he has an offense date for your case of 5/13/24, and there's a new alleged offense on November 3rd, 2024.
I think it was 23, Judge, or 22, actually.
It says offense date here.
Oh, for the new one. I'm sorry, Judge. Yeah, 11/3, I think.
All right.
Yes, sir. At this time, the state would be asking for a bond increase. Due to the new offense while he's on bond for a violent offense. Additionally, alcohol was involved not only in the underlying offense, but also in the offense. Here, the defendant evaded police in a high-speed chase and got out. There was alcohol on his breath. And those facts, the state were like the most surprise he does have so that does make the state concerned for the safety of the this time. He asked him to bond so 20,000.
All right. So is he on GPS?
He's not, Judge.
All right, would GPS solve your concerns? Would GPS solve your concerns? All right, do you want to speak to GPS?
Very briefly, Your Honor, if I can briefly respond to what the prosecutor said, Judge. What we do know about this new case is that Mr. Marceau got a speeding ticket for doing 57 and 45. There was no high-speed chase, even though I've not seen any discovery. The state graciously let me look at a police report. That what I can tell the court was he wasn't arrested for DWI and he wasn't intoxicated.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't investigated for that.
And what I can tell you is I'm not considering that. The only thing I'm looking at that's in the violation report is that he had a case, currently a case with an offense date of 2/28/23. And then there's a new case of 11/3/2024. The state is requesting a bond increase. In order for the court to increase a bond, I'll need witnesses. So what the court is going to do, due to that, the court is not going to do a bond increase, but the court is going to order a GPS. Are you employed?
At the moment, no, ma'am.
All right. So the court is going to order a full GPS. I can order the fees be waived, but then that would mean that he would have to go to the jail to get the GPS.
May I speak to that very briefly, Your Honor?
Sure.
So Mr. Marceau was fully employed before and he lost his job because of the nature of the allegation.
Okay.
So when he says he's not employed, I think that what we're saying is he's not employed in his profession. But I believe that he is doing, I think you'd call it casual work. So if the court does.
What type of work is he doing?
He's just
mainly just odd jobs for family and friends, house sitting, landscape stuff, watch their dog, whatever, whatever I can do.
He's doing whatever he can to make ends meet right now, like I said, because of the case that he's got, the nature of it, he lost his chosen profession. He is right now doing whatever he can to make ends meet.
All right, then what I'll do, State, is I'll do partial GPS for work, but these odd jobs that you're doing, you're gonna need to provide a letter to pretrial services from that person saying he's gonna be working here, whatever date it's gonna be, and the time frame you will be there. Do you understand? All right, is there anything else?
Not from defense, Your Honor, not at this time.
All right, then you are excused. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
May I just get confirmation on his case, on the last case you just heard?
Yes.
Did you want the fees waived on that?
Well, the only time I can waive the fees is if he goes through the jail. Is that correct? Or can he waive it
Oh,
on that?
yes, that's correct.
So that's the only way I can do it. Otherwise, I can't do it. I mean, I'll write waive fees on there. I can tell you what they're gonna do. They're gonna send it back and say they can't.
No problem, Judge. At least he owes money, he won't get revoked for it. So I'll tell him.